What's going on, guys? Haxa here with something a little bit different. There's been a new patch drop. 1.7.5 is here. The physical update they teased at the end of the last update just dropped. And it's interesting. I would say in some ways it's better than I thought it would be, and in some ways it's less exciting than I thought it would be. But I'm going to do something I didn't do last time. I'm going to read the patch notes this time. I feel like it's something I should have done last time, and it's something I really should do more often. And I'm kind of curious if people will enjoy a video like this, so I'm just trying something a little different. Um, I guess you can let me know like, a video like this. Normally, I don't read patch notes, but let's see what happens if I do read the patch notes. There's a lot to read here, and I kind of want to get through this as like at a decent pace. So let's get started quickly. But there's a lot to go over, and I'm very interested to see what your guys' opinion of the patch overall is. Let's get started with some of the changes made to skulls. So let's read this stuff. Carleon recruit a common, or maybe it's only at common. That's something. So Carleon recruit common. This is the common Carleon, and there's no further Carleon recruit, so it's very weak. Uh, Increased damage from focus complete attacks against attacks. So I guess that means the damage of his focused attacks is better now than just doing normal attacks at common and only common, maybe. Reduce the normal attacks forward dash distance after full rating, so I guess he doesn't go as far, which is interesting. I guess that's a good thing in some way. Because sometimes going too far can like send you flying into like the brambles in Act 1. I, is this really only at common? That's really strange. I wonder why they would do it that way. Or maybe they only write it for common and you just are meant to assume that goes as far as all the other stuff. I don't know. I don't think they wrote the patch notes like that last time, so my assumption is that this is only for common Carleon recruit, which is very strange. And also this is one of the skulls that we were predicting would get some change, but this is definitely not the changes I was expecting. Um, uh, I hope it goes further than just common. Is all I'll say about that. I don't think recruit's a bad skull. I think recruit's a good skull, and the changes he wouldn't have needed astronomical changes for people to like him. I don't think, but I don't think this would be enough for people to like the Carleon recruit. People who didn't like him before will probably still not like him after this. Okay, excuse me. Going on to the Stone Monkey, which is another skull that we predict to see some change. However, much like the other one, which kind of makes me think that this isn't the case, it only says common. Why would they do it only for the common version? Like, it has to go further. There's no way. Anyways, increase in the amount of energy gained from normal attacks on it. Frankly, not the changes Monkey needed. Because this is another skull that I predict get some changes. But God, this is not what um Monkey needed a lot. The devs seem very happy with, whereas the overall skull community, at least from people I see, do not like where Stone Monkey is. Um, they've had a lot of chances to make this character stronger, but all he's really gotten over time is nerf. And like this is a buff, but it's not a buff that helps the monkey that much. Because me personally, I never even use his passive to summon clones. I just swap, which is, in my opinion, how you should play the skull. His passive is bad. Like I don't think I ever press the down attack button. It just it's not a thing I do. I don't know about you guys. Point being though, at least for me, this changes nothing. I still like the monkey. I've never not liked him, but I think he of most like probably one of the skulls that needs buffs the most. This is not what he needs. So, um, especially if this only goes past common, I just can't imagine that this is because none of these other skulls get mentioned of their common either. I'm just gonna assume this goes all the way up, and if it does, it's still not enough. Weird, not sure why, but it is what it is. All right, let's talk about Ghoul. Common, which doesn't stop at common. Increase the chance of enemies dropping flesh upon normal attack. That's good. That's a good buff. If it goes all the way up, and like I said, it does. That's a solid buff for it. And I do think Ghoul needed buffs. You know, people really like the Ghoul. I like him too, but I do think he's one of the weaker skulls in the game. And this could be a skull that could make him a little bit, or a buff, I should say. Getting, I don't know what happened there. I guess I gotta be careful about clicking. Getting more chunks more often is just good. Like, it just helps him. Solid buff. Hopefully it goes all the way up, and I'm just gonna Genie, who is a skull that I kind of figured would get some changes, but also he's one of the Genie is not a bad skull, and he certainly wasn't before. But giving him buffs can only really help him. Let's see what it does. During normal attack, combo attacks now trigger the third attack faster after the second attack. That only applies to legendary. Combo attacks now. I guess that doesn't only apply at legendary. He has like the 1-2 basic. Increase the damage of the third attack on combo attacks during normal attacks. Solid buffs, honestly. But one thing you can say about Genie, that damage wise, he's a little below the like median. He's slightly below average on damage, but defensively, Genie is just a big titan. You can't get better than Genie on defense, but offensively, he leaves some things to be desired. So maybe this is enough to raise him up a bit. We'll have to play him and see how he feels. Any excuse to play Genie, plus in my book. Davy, who also got changes in the last one, bigger changes than this. In the so-called physical update, it's just funny that Davy got updates in the last patch, and now he's getting changes again, and they're less significant in the physical update, magic update. But changes are changes, so sorry, I had to adjust my head. Reduce the delay after firing cannons on the ground. That seems actually solid, because like really the only decent way to use Davy is through his like soar memes, where it's like he flies through the air and you attack while he's in the air. That's how I and most people Davy Jones, because he's more convenient. So maybe he'll be a little bit better on the ground now. Reduce knockback distance when firing cannons from the ground, so I guess he doesn't fly backwards as far now, which is actually so. I always talk about this. Any skull that has a basic attack where it sends them moving forwards or backwards, it's like a secret debuff that most people consider when they're using a skull. Making him sending him flying backwards less distance is actually a very solid buff that I think might I'll try a grounded date if I'm ever fortunate enough to get him again and see how that goes, because that's solid. I like to see that. That's a decent change, but he got his biggest changes in the last patch, which made him a bit better, I would say. This will be like minor stuff, but it's still probably good. So good to see some changes, maybe. Now here's a skull. This was like my gimme for getting changes, and I'm not sure how to feel about these. Increased damage of quick step, damage of 1-inch punch, increased damage of combo, increased damage of dirty smash. So flat damage buffs is fine. Decreased stage of rage cooldown, 60 seconds to 45 seconds. Oh, that's probably gonna happen multiple. This is not it, man. This is not it. Um, the amount of energy that his attack, like, not gonna. Good. Oh god. What champion needed more than anything is energy reduction on his skills. His skills take way too much energy. Stage of Rage, which I think is its passive. I don't even know what it's called, frankly. I think that's a safe assumption. Getting that, it's not even. The problem with the champion is there's so many like mechanics that he has that are counterintuitive, where it's like every single one of his skills takes like half, like, so we're talking combo here. His strongest skill takes half half of his energy. And to use Stage of Rage, you have to have his energy meter fully filled. So if you have combo and you want to use Stage of Rage, you're forced to not use your abilities for like a long duration of time while you're building up his passive. And then you use his passive, and he only gets to use two skills because this takes half of his energy. It's fucking insane. And we're just talking combo. Most of these cost way too much. The only one that doesn't, and even then, it still costs way too much energy, is I think 1 inch punch. It costs 10. And that's still a lot. And you're still disincentivized to use your skills while you're building towards passive. Basically, champion at the end of the day, when I use him, is a basic attack Skull who sometimes uses his abilities and rarely uses Stage of Rage. Um, I kind of was hoping that we'd get a bit of a reversion of the champion where we send him back to what he used to be before 1.4. Give him flat damage buffs across the board. This could also be a like this is not a bad change. It's a good change, but in the package deal of champion, it's not good enough. This doesn't fix the champion. So revert him to what he used to do. He used to be an ability spammer. He would be a damn good Skull if he was he's costed less. And do this and give him these flat damage buffs, and then we're starting to talk. Then champion is in a solid spot. This is not enough, in my opinion. This will not fix. Sad but true. Champion's probably still one of the worst goals in the game. Okay, now what is this, dude? Grim Reaper, because he needed buffs, guys. Let's be real. Reaper was on his way out. He's starting to suck. So, uh, thank God he got some buffs. Let's see what they did to old pal Reaper here. Increased chance to spawn souls from enemy kills. Nuts on that's crazy. He definitely he needed it so badly. Increased normal attack damage, damage per state. So just flat damage buffs and higher chance to get souls. Uh, uh, I, I guess, man. I suppose if you want to, Southpaw, give him buffs, but like this is the invisible knife buff all over again. My only question is why? Why not do something more with champion on the? God damn, get really annoying. Why not do more with champion on the physical update, and why give Reaper these giga buffs? This needed more. This did not need to happen. This did not need to happen. Not that I'm upset. I'm going to play Reaper and enjoy the hell out of these buffs, but this is not enough. This is too much. Uh, Southpaw, please listen to the community when it comes to something. Like I guess they know it's their game. I just wish they would list like because like they have this suggestion form their Discord server where people will drop suggestions. I'm sure people have given pretty good insight on how Champ bad and how he needs to be fixed. I don't think anyone asked for this. Are there people out there who's like Reaper isn't good enough? He needs more. I don't know. It's strange to me. However, you know what? I'll take the Reaper buffs. I just wish this was more. And that's all we have with skulls, actually. This is where I say it's less than I was expecting. I wanted more skull changes, frankly. But you know what? I'll take these skull changes we got, and I guess put them in my pocket, and we'll play with some of these, see how they feel. A lot of changes. I mean, a lot of the skulls I wanted to see here are here. It's just not the changes I wanted. Like, Monkey and Champion are exactly where there's really nothing that changed there. Reaper is strong. He somehow Reaper came out of this on top, and this seems good. This seems good, and this could be good. See what happens. Maybe now I actually want to focus my attacks. Okay, now we move on to the items, and there's a lot more to talk about here. So this is where like the bulk of the and a lot of stuff I wasn't expecting are now changed. So veterans warrior gloves. This is the upgraded Warriors gloves. Uh, like if you get it through Masterpiece. An electric field that casts continuous physical damage is created at the location of the detonation. That seems solid, honestly. I still thought Veterans Warrior gloves were pretty good. Like I thought they were a good item, and they're like one of the more worth it Masterpiece items. And this just makes it seem better. Sorry, my mouth was dry and I did. Um, so solid change, I would say. Not too much to talk about. I want to see how it feels. Like a continuous electric field is. Oh my god, why is it like this, Steam? Why? Like, oh, oh, okay, here we go. This is better. Sorry, guys. Now we're cooking. Okay, this is what we should have been doing the whole time. All right, good, good, good. Um, so yeah, Varen's Warrior Gloves, good change. I want to see how it feels. I guess we have a masterpiece run. Now we have champions out here. Changes in items' previous effects. So this is a huge change. So previously this item did increase physical damage by 12% per enemy nearby, 120 increase maximum. Excuse me. If there are more than 5 enemies nearby, normal attacks create a shockwave that deal AoE damage to nearby enemies, cooldown 1 second. New effect is increased physical damage by 25% per enemy nearby, 100 increase maximum. Huge change. For the positive, normal attacks create shockwaves that deal AoE damage to nearby enemies, cooldown 5 seconds. Cooldown is reduced by 1 second by enemy. That seems. Oh, and maybe not actually. That deal AoE by enemies 5 seconds. Maybe it's better actually. However, yeah, you know what? They kind of like just reversed it. It seems better honestly, because like if there are more than 5 enemies nearby, it's like that's a big that's like um this is better actually. This is actually better, more consistent, and that's what's. You can actually use this against bosses now, so maybe it's not as bad as it used to be. Though 25% might home about against a boss, but in rooms, this is like an incredible item. I'll definitely use this item and see how it feels. And also, we still need to know like the upgraded. Well, uh, this is only for the normal champion, so what we'll do. Interesting. I definitely want to use this item moving. Seems like a change. But there's more to talk about with this later. Nice's heart, which is, if anyone's curious, that blue heart that has absolute increased damage dealt after the integration. I mean, good buff, honestly. They keep buffing freeze, and I'm here for it. I want to see if this feels better now. I always thought Nice's heart was like one of the better freeze items, but you know what? We'll see how it feels. Seems like a solid change to it. Kind of needed it, I guess. Freeze in general needed some good changes. It got Frost Witch's staff changed last update, and now we have Nice's heart to maybe help it along. We'll have to do a freeze run soon. Mysterious Apparatus, increased damage of the Wave of Force. That's a solid change as well. Mysterious Apparatus is one of the items where I almost never use it these days. Maybe now I'll start to use it more because it just a flat damage buff is a solid change. Rapid Sword of the Subconscious, an item I use a lot and have become a big fan of over the Dark Mirror. Got a buff, increased damage of slash attacks caused by the item effect. So really, it's just solid across the board. You can't go wrong. I already used this item, and now I'll probably be using it even more. Acceleration Sword, reduce minimum cooldown of the Acceleration Sword. Even better. Like, get more procs from your Acceleration Sword more often now without as much investment. Seems good. I do use this item somewhat often, and maybe now I'll keep it more often than I do keep it. Mana Gauntlet's getting lots of love over the past couple of patches. Effect duration changed from 3 seconds to 5 seconds, so the buff they gave it, they were like, that wasn't even enough. Let's make it even stronger. Now it lasts for 5 seconds, which, by the way, ridiculous. I was perfectly content with 3 seconds. This item went from shitty to great over the course of one patch, and now it's gone from great to god tier. Like, this is an incredible, incredible item. Maximum effect damage dealt to. They even buffed its damage. That's it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Mana Gauntlets on top is all I'll say. Jesus Christ, dude. Uh, didn't need it, but I'll take it, man. We'll take that to the bank. Warrior Steel Mace. Increased damage dealt by stunning enemies. Oh my god, dude. I have to do the Medusa Warrior Steel Mace run now. Medusa Warrior Steel Mace, as it was an incredible combo. Very powerful. This is wild, man. These are two buffs I would have never expected to see, but I'm here for it, man. Especially Mana Gauntlets. This is also pretty fucking crazy. I guess we're doing a stun runs. Here's an incredible change. Bone of Swiftness. Increase the additional damage amplification proportional to the number of obtained speed type skulls. So now it goes even harder. And frankly, this item needed. I was talking not that long ago, maybe on stream, I can't remember. But I was saying recently, this item has fallen off a cliff in terms. I was hoping it would get some changes in the upcoming patch that we knew was coming, and it did. And the changes seem okay. We'll have to see how it actually feels, because it's only 15% more was at the maximum before. It's still one of those bones that's not worth like minimal investment. So like out any speed skulls, it's terrible. It seems like with one speed skull, it's not that great, but maybe two speed skull runs makes this a little more. Mana Eater, increased damage of stabbing attacks using Mana Eater. I have to try out Mana Eater. It's not an item I take very often. Maybe now it's a little better than it was. Uh, Probably okay on Little Bone. But we'll see. We'll see how it feels. Sylphid Wings got a damage buff on its Blade of Winds, which I think is a good thing. Even though really you don't take Sylphid Wings for the Blades of Wind, take it for the passive effect. But that's still good. It getting a buff on its blades. So we'll have to see how it feels. Mane of the Beast King getting a buff. Increase the additional damage on enemies with a mark. Mane of the Beast King already went super hard. This is an interesting one. I can't wait to see how this feels, honestly. I'm a big fan of Mane of the Beast King, and now it's even better. Okay. I mean, sure, man, I'll take it. I wasn't expecting it, but maybe it's like fair. Maybe it needed a buff. Now here's a buff that I can super get behind, though I'm a little iffy on it. I'll have to see how it feels. So multidimensional prism. I've talked pretty recently about how this item has fallen off a cliff. 30 seconds was way too much, so they changed the effect cooldown from 30 to 10. That's solid. That's a huge change. I like that. Change the number of drop mana upon the prism explosion from 6 to 3. That's kind of sad. I didn't really aspects. I don't think this affects my opinion. Decreased damage of laser and explosion. That's where I'm iffy on. Frankly, I don't get why the devs are cautious of. They have zero caution over the wheel. They literally have given it exclusively buffs over time, and it activates way more often, at least before, than every 30 seconds. 10 seconds is actually. That's almost every single swap you're going to have this popping off. Every other swap, I guess. Fair. I just am worried about decreasing of the, because it did good damage before. I hope that they haven't been too cautious of this item. We'll see what happens. It proccing more often though is very nice. Changes in the veils, or Priestess's Veil, I should read. This is for the Priestess's Veil. This is like the rare hood thing that you sometimes get where it like buffs your stats. Previously, a random buff that lasts 10 seconds is gained every 20 seconds, 60% on magic damage, 40% less taken, and 55 increased attack speed. 60. Okay, so this was on the same. Okay, this is the same buff. Got attack and move together. The new effect is a random buff that lasts 10 seconds, is gained every 10 seconds. So it's actually continuous uptime on the stat gain. Solid. However, they lowered the stats. 35% increase in physical and magic damage. That's, I mean, that's pretty significant. It's a lot less than a lot of items. In fact, it's, I think, the same. If, yeah, I think it's equal to a basic Carleon item. 10% less damage taken. Significantly less. 25%. Okay. Ah, why'd they give it such a. I mean, it definitely needed a nerf from this if it's going to be uptime, but Jesus Christ. 10%. Dude, ooh. Did this really. Is this a nerf? I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, it's odd. I don't know how to feel about it. Uh, more at 7, I guess. We'll have to try it and see how it feels. This does not feel that great. We'll have. I guess it's just one of those things I'll have to see. Okay, luxurious teacup. I never take. So change duration of crit rate increase upon the end of the concentration 1 second to 3 seconds. That's good. Change cooldown of item effect 1 second to 3 seconds. Wait, that's bad. So that's a nerf. This is good. This is weird. How does Southpaw have like? So it's like Mana Gauntlet gets just buffed. Like maybe they just want items to scale with their rarity or something. Not something I hope they get. They don't have that design philosophy. It's like Mana Gauntlets just got buffed and it just gets stronger and stronger with every patch. Something as niche as Luxurious Teacup gets like seeming nerf. I have to see it in action. Like, this is weird. Why would they do this? Why 3 seconds? 2 seems. I don't know. We'll have to see. Uh, I guess I'll be trying Luxurious Teacup. Manatech Booster. Change duration of attack speed increase 3 seconds to 5 seconds. That's good. Stuff like that's always good. Attack speed of normal attacks and skills performed in midair 5% to 10%. That's good. I mean, maybe this is actually good now. Maybe this is actually useful. This is an item I almost never take, but like 5 seconds is a solid amount of time to like just kind of like run around and not have to worry about keeping this up always. Before it was a little hard to use. Maybe now it's not. Oh, here's Fighter's Belt. Okay, so this is the Champion's Belt, right? But like the Masterpiece upgraded version, if I'm not mistaken. Why is that down here? Change physical damage increase rate per nearby enemy. That's it? So what? So it's less than this? So the basic effect is more consistent? Uh, Masterpiece upgraded version? Maybe I'm getting items mixed up. There's no way, right? The fact that it's down here, I think maybe I'm getting my items mixed up. I don't know what Fighter's Belt is. Upgraded champion belt. Bone of Madness, which is one of like never been a thing I take very often. So let's read what this duration of area of bones 10 seconds to 15 seconds. That's good, I think. So it's kind of like problem with this item is that the area didn't follow you around. Uh oh, cooldown of area bones. Okay, 10 seconds to 5 seconds. That's solid. That's what this needed. This is good. This is like item change. This is what the item needed to like actually do something useful. So now you can have the area around you more often. This is good. Maybe Bone of Madness ain't so bad now. Exclusive buff. So maybe okay. So that isn't their design philosophy. I think the devs might just be scared of crit rate. I don't know. I don't get this makes no. Change damage increase rate of physical and magic attacks within the area of bones at 50 to 55. Not a huge buff, but 50% was already a lot, so 55% is a good change. Bone of Madness might actually be kind of decent now. And with another change later on in this, we'll have to really try maybe using this because this is a pretty good all item about what's to come. Uh okay, if you hear any noise in the background, I apologize. That's my door. Like the sound dampening I have in my quote unquote studio. I put my I put a blanket at my door that hopefully blocks off a little. Anyways, contaminated core. One of my like kind of pet items whenever I'm doing. I think this is an item that people don't take as often as they changed interval of effect activation at 15 seconds to 7 seconds. By the way, incredible. That's a huge buff for this item. So contaminated core went from great to even better. This is like damage percent that's much needed on poison based runs. If you see contaminated core and you're on a poison run, I would highly uh like recommend you consider taking it. Very powerful. You need the damage percent. This is like even more consistent now than it used to be. So huge buff for contaminated core. Frost Giant's leather. Change cooldown of Frost Giant's protection from 30 seconds. It was 60 seconds. Duration of Frost Giant's protection 5. Change barrier amount received when while the Frost Giant's protection is active 5 to 50. A barrier 40 to 20 seconds. Maybe I don't know what that's. I had this. This will still be the old version. Using a skill grants you the Frost Giant's represent less. It'll be less for 40 seconds every time you accept it. So it's just that's probably a buff. It's like really need this because like defensive based builds are already niche. Or I just don't get why nerf this honestly for 5 seconds, but they're not afraid of buffing mana gauntlets. What the fuck? What the fuck? If you're on a freeze run, the odds of wanting to build defensively are already enormously low. I would say I don't know how to feel about this overall because I've never used this item and I probably will. Um, but it was niche and it's probably still niche. It's like I don't. It's kind of weird to give it any nerfs at all. Really, this this is good. This is weird and I just don't get why. Um, 20 seconds is fair because 40 seconds is a norm, and this is good. So I don't know. The item probably got better. I just don't. Devs are always very cautious in areas where it makes no sense. Cautious. Magic Beads of Darkness. Changes in item effect. Previously swapping for the third time stuns nearby enemies. Swapping for the third time now deals magic damage and stun by enemies. Okay, that's good actually. Giving magic users more incentive. All is good. Or uh stun is good because they did that recently with aftershocks, which is like was the only magic stun item, and now we have magic beads of darkness being stun or magic focus too, and really just a solid buff across the board. I like it. I think it's good. I'll probably be doing magic stun soon. All right, let's move on to inscription change. This is like the part that kind of blindsided me. I was not expecting inscription changes, and these are all pretty massive. So let's see. The changes in inscription effects on Brawl. Previously, the effect of 2 attacking enemies caused a shockwave that deals damage to enemies based on the higher of physical and magic. And you got it to 4, reduce cooldown of shockwave by 1 second per nearby enemy. So it was basically Champion's Belt, but on an inscription. Uh, Now the new effect is on 2, attacking enemies causes a shockwave that deals damage to nearby enemies based on the higher of magic and physical. Shockwave can occur 3 times per second on the same target, which is every 5th shockwave is empty. Jesus Christ, bro. What's the cooldown? Is there no cooldown? No way. What? Oh. If the cooldown is 5 seconds, it's dog shit. If this is a zero cooldown, then this could actually be uh a new damage, like a new way to obliterate your enemy. This could be like, I don't even know what to say about this. This could be insane. Oh my, I have to try Brawl. We have to do a Brawl run then. Every fifth shockwave is amplified is crazy. Up to 3 times per second on the same target. Oh my god, okay. That's exciting. I need to see this in action. If it's a cooldown of 5 seconds, it's dog. It's terrible. If it's not, then it could actually be incredible. I'm just very curious. Maybe they left out the cooldown 5 seconds. They already said, I don't know. It's weird. I guess people in the comments, if they've tried it. Execute changes in inscription effects. Previously, effect on 2 enemies with less than 30. Oh god, I can talk. Enemies with less than 30% HP receive a mark. 20% for adventurers and bosses. I always hated this. That it's less for bosses drives me crazy. Why would you? This is meaningless on normal enemies. On bosses, why make it less? I don't know. Damage to marked enemies is increased by 60%. That's good. That's the old one. All attacks made against marked enemies. Okay, so weird inscription. It was very niche, pretty much always. It was almost never good. So let's see what it is. Enemies with less than 60% HP receive a mark. Damage to marked enemies increased by 15%. Hallelujah! It's not lower on bosses, it's the same. Ah! That's what it needed. I thank God that Southpaw removed this weird. I just. Oh man. That's already a big change. Let's see what it is on 4. If enemies with marked have less than 30% HP, damage to marked enemies increased by 60%, and all attacks turn into critical hits. Oh my god! Ah, execute's good now, I think. Hang on 1 second. That's crazy. They actually fixed it. They fixed it. Oh my god, Southpaw. Anything I said up to this point that seemed unfair or harsh, this this is great. Thank you guys. Oh my god, this is so much better than it was. Oh wow. Okay, now we have to do an execute 4 run. For sure. This is huge. This is great. I don't know how many times I've ranted about how annoying I think it is that old execute used to be worse on bosses when you truly needed it more. On normal enemies, it was worthless because like most enemies melt in like 2 seconds, except for of course dark elites. This one dark elites. It's the same across the board. That's so good. Increased by 15% isn't massive, but like execute 4 is like the true prize now. Like this is an incredible inscription. All hits turn into critical hits. That's insane, man. Okay, this is exciting. I cannot wait. Rapidity, which is also something I've talked about quite a bit, that I think it's fallen off a cliff in terms of relevancy in the Dark Mirror. Let's see what they've done. Changes in inscription effects. Previously, effective 2, 30% increase in attack speed. Effect 4, damage dealt to enemies by normal attacks is amplified by 30%. Sadly, just wasn't good in the Dark Mirror. The like basic attacks were pretty much useless in the Dark Mirror up to this. They may still be. I don't know. I actually haven't gone over too of this even off screen, so I might be like because I did not read this last night. I think I glanced at this. So let's see what the new normal attacks or dashes increase attack speed by 6% for 5 seconds, and damage dealt by normal attack maximum 3% attack speed, maximum 50 attack damage. So now rapidity 2 gives you that amp. It's like half of it. I mean, this alone doesn't at all. Although, like for 5 seconds, 5 seconds is like mana gauntlet stuff, right? So this is more than enough time to upkeep attack speed increase. So now it's not flat anymore. You don't just get flat 30%. But I still think it's better than it used to be because you can upkeep this very easily. Not hard at all. Especially with dashes, you will almost never lose this actually. So frankly, it's like pretty much constant uptime anyway. So rapidity 2 is already off in a much better spot than it used to be. Let's see what 4 does. If normal attacks are performed 5 times within 2 seconds, that a combination that deals damage based on the higher physical damage second cooldown. Combination that attacks are considered. Oh, so it's like the combo scales off your basic attack. So it's like the new dit thing that they've added is considered a normal attack. Okay. So now there's actually a reason to give yourself a lot of attack speed. It's no longer just like a luxury. Interesting. I'm more excited about this than I am about this. I'd have to see this in action. It seems interesting. This is certainly more interesting and dynamic rapidity than it used to be. Sure. Maybe it's good now. Maybe basic attacks builds are decent again, but basically the way basic attack builds work in the Dark Mirror is you never build around your basic damage. If you were going a basic attack focused build, you would build like crit items or something and go from there. Like, just get like invisible knife procking on your basic or gunpowder sword procking on your, just kind of scale off of this. Maybe makes it to where you can just use the power of your basics. I'm skeptical that that will be a thing forward, but it's interesting at the minimum, and I think these are solid changes. These are solid changes for sure. I think this is much more, and overall, certainly I would guess better than it even. All right, relic. Let's see what relic got. Uh, previously gained 10% of lost speech upon changing maps, which was, by the way, this is like what you look for. And you could like relic 4 builds were also pretty powerful. I'm actually shocked to see this. Upon getting HP damage based on the higher physical magic is dealt, this effect can be amplified per second on the target. This was a good effect. It was just hard to build relic 4, but you could do it, and it worked very well. So let's see what the new gain 3 additional HP, or 3 HP is gained upon. Oh, that's much worse than the. How'd they change? So much worse. Ooh. Okay. Unleash Wrath of God for 10 seconds upon. Wrath of God deals 6 damage. Maximum of 10. Wrath of God can occur in 5 seconds. Seems much. 10 seconds upon. Hold on the same target. This is like, this kills relic run. This kills relic runs in bossing. Relic is maximum of 10% for 50 HP of an. It's a little confusing to really wrap my head around what exactly it's. Maybe it's fine again. I don't know. Maybe it's fine in bosses. I'm just thinking like the Dark Hero. You can only do up to 10% for every 50. Yes. This is one of those things I'll have to see it in action. Math nerds in my chat can really, I guess, go. I'm not a math guy. I'm an experienced guy, so I'm just gonna have to try this for myself. It in my head and what I'm imagining, it seems worse. And one thing that Relic had a problem with is like, particularly in bosses, you needed certain enabling you needed certain enablers to make it even possible to. So I am interested to see where this like you pretty much needed like either what was the inscription revenge or rejuvenation route. So if anything they should have made it instead of doing it why'd they do they should have made it to where it's just like maybe it heals you like I don't know 5 HP every X amount of I don't know because I guess that would be too I don't know how they fix this or I don't know how they fix it in bossing but like I don't know this is why I'm not a game designer because what I just said would you could like every room you could just end the room and just stand there and fully heal it after a certain. However, this is bad. This is better for sure, for sure. Because like relic was like good sustain at the end of rooms. Like sometimes having relic would save your runs because 10% of your lost HP upon changing maps, depending on how much HP you lost, was enormous amount of. So let's move on. I don't want to spend too much on relic. That's a hard one to wrap my head around. All right, heritage. Change required quantity per inscription effect to oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, really? So it ends at 3 now? Wait, that's so good? Cuz like heritage is a hard thing to hold on to. Okay, this is smart of the devs. This is them seeing like an effect like this does not scale towards it, like your damage percent or anything. So this is a changing it from 1 to 3 is very good. That's very powerful. Uh, changes in the inscription effect. So previously, essence cooldown speed increases by 65% on 2. On 4, successful quintet attacks are increased damage by increased damage by 40%. No amp. Not always the thing with Quint. Why was heritage so bad? Okay, let's read the new heritage effect. This is old heritage. We're in the new world now. Effect of 1, essence cooldown speed increases by 45%. Uh, I guess it's just easier to get now. But still, I don't. They should have all honestly. That's weird. Okay, so that's all right. We're off on a bad foot here. So the good foot still stands with the of effective 3 upon using the quintessence damage dealt to enemies caused by 20. Cooldown 20 seconds seems like a lot, but it is amp. So that's having amp is huge. 25% amp. Not even that's not a ton of amp, but it's fine. For a 20-second cooldown, I feel like if this was 15 seconds or so, it would be icing. Overall, good changes, I think. Except for this. This is weird. I don't get this. But this is good. Solid changes for heritage. I really like that there's 1 of 3s now. I hope there's more 1 of 3s because, frankly, some things are very hard to hold on to. So that's very hard to hold on to. Getting maximum heritage was so now it's going to be a much more consistent thing to get. Overall, great changes, except for this. Southpaw shouldn't be as scared of some of the game as you are. 65% wouldn't even be that crazy on. Revenge. Change the duration of revenge with 2 effects, 1 to 2. What was revenge? Back to the end. Excuse me. Let's see. Attacking an enemy within 1 second of taking. Doing the gesture between physical and magic and taken. Okay, so it dealt damage and healed. Kind of like Ghoul Swallowing Wish, how you can think of it. So now it's upon revenge, attack and cooldown. These are all of this changed. I think all of this is with 2 effects, 1 second to 2. That's interesting. Change the amount of proportional HP recovery from damage taken immediately. Oh wow! Oh wow! Damn! Wait, really? That's crazy, actually. So now you heal 75% of your damage taken and has a slightly higher cooldown. One effect of 2 effects, 8 seconds to. Whoa! What? Wait, what? You can heal that much now? And they completely changed the Revenge 4, I guess. Upon revenge, attack and cooldown speeds are increased by 50. For every 10 HP loss, damage taken by 1%. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh wow. That's ooh wow. Okay, that's very crazy actually. 45 amp. What the fuck? The cooldown or the uptime is what exactly? 8 seconds? What's the cooldown though? 3? Oh, there is there a cooldown? Wait, what? Revenge 4 runs? Is that a thing now? I can't even think of items with revenge. I guess we can look. Thank you, Wiki. These are the revenge items. It's still gonna be very hard to get. This is one of those 1 to 3. I could have seen them. One of these items I never. Corn Voodoo Doll is good. 8 stones. I have to find items, but you're not gonna be doing a magic. I don't see this being a thing that physical. I'm not a big berserk guys, but I guess it's better now. It has better. I don't know. This will be very hard to do. Magic run. We'll talk, guys. We'll talk. Overall, crazy changes to Revenge. That's solid, man. And attack. Changed required quantity per inscription effect. Okay, so it's one of the 1 to 3 of awesome, by the way. Incredible changes. Like, that alone is already great. Reduced force of mana tech components, but what they don't spread as far now. I think that's probably what that. Also very good, actually. Changed amount of mana tech components generated per inscription effect. Affects 1 affects 1 5 mana tech. Change clown reduction 5. Oh, that's still incredible, actually. Holy crap, actually. Wow. That's so this seems like a nerf, but look how much more you get. 1 mana tech component to 5 mana tech. That's okay. Mana tech might actually be solid now. This was like one of the most niche inscriptions in the entire game, and now it might actually be good. That's very interesting. Okay, all right. I see you, Mana Tech. I'm kind of with it now. Maybe I'm on board. You know, maybe all of a sudden I'm feeling on board. I have to see how it feels in game. But also, one problem with Mana Tech is the items. Um, so physical has really solid Mana Tech options. This maybe no. This whereas Magic doesn't really have as many. And this doesn't count. So basically, broken Mana Tech staff are the only solid. By the way, were the only solid options you had on Magic, but you know, Weird Blast is like incredible and Mana Tech Gravity Generator. Fuck off. Mana Tech Gravity Generator is very good. Um I'm curious how this will feel now. Oh yeah, and Mana Tech Circulator is pretty good. That's more of a neutral, not really magic based. And maybe Mana Tech Booster. Maybe these buffs were we don't look at. Maybe some of these buffs, like maybe now this is usable, so Mana Tech will have to give a chance. What's this? I'm like this. What is this cursed website? Okay. Mutant. Oh, what? A 1 this is a 1 to 3? Holy shit. Wait, is this a update made for me? Changed 4 effects. Damage dealt to enemies through an altering skills amplified by 35%. Hang on 1 second. Ooh, okay. I'm not feeling good. I'm sick. Bear with me. New effect is damage dealt to enemies through an alternating skill is amplified depending on the current rank of the skull. 30. Oh my god. No, wait. Holy what? 65 amp? Whoa. What the fuck? Wait, that's insane. Whoa. One of three? 65 amp? Are the devs high? This is like the biggest buff I've ever seen on anything. What? That's insane, dude. Alternating skills now amped by 65% at legendary ranking? You're talking to the guy that builds 2 skulls to legendary every run and swaps like crazy. What? I, I actually am kind of stunned. Can I lose now? Can I ever lose again? If I just get mutant 3? And let's look at some of the mutant items. Just look good, 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 good. Oh my god. Uh, thank Southpaw. This seems like a little much to me. Even this seems ridiculous. Even I. This is a lot. This is the craziest buff I've ever seen on anything ever. One of three, 65. It's actually, you only need 2 mutant items, and then you can just buy the mutant pedestal, and you just get 65 amp on a swap, which you can swap very often in this game. This is one of the. This maybe is too much, friend, dude. Okay. Well, I guess this is the Haxa update. I don't even know what to say about this. That's insane. That's okay. Well, moving on to heirloom. A change duration of the Mirage dispelling on hit from 40 to 30. Wow, that's a pretty big buff. It's cool, man. Good on you, Southpaw. I'm still stunned locked on this. Um, okay. Oh my god. I guess we're almost done here. Color adjustments of the damage font. I will guess we'll have to see what that change colors of partial poison related effects, poison gas attacks from the Sphinx, poisonous chest in the event dangerous. Oh, maybe they're not green now they're purple. Poison used to be represented by green, and nowadays it's by purple. Probably what I would guess is this. Bug fix an issue where Ninja Master's Phantom Slash was considered a kind of attack. Okay, that would have weird bug. I never would. What's this? Well, that's everything. The big winner of this patch is me apparently, and mutant. Holy mother of God! Why would one of three and also 65 amp? That's amp, bro. God, Jesus Christ, man. What the fuck? So mutant's like the huge winner. I don't even know what to say about that. Heritage got some solid changes. Really, all of the solid changes came in like the items and we'll have to see how this stuff feels. None of like this doesn't feel impactful to me. This is okay, I guess maybe. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is sadly disappointing, a huge letdown. And this is odd. Not as many skull changes as I would have wanted to see, but honestly, overall the patch is good. Also, I can't even, but I assume this like we released a patch and here's the stuff. Um, Maybe there's something in about what's coming. I doubt it. Uh, Phenomenal stuff. I'm very excited for this patch. I'm very see how this will go. Things are going to be interesting. Uh, Mutant 3 every run, guys. It just every run I'm gonna have Mutant 3. There's no reason not to. It's like maybe I'll get tired of it because it's gonna be so overpowered. This is bizarre. This is so weird. This is a gift to me. This is a thanks Southpaw. Thanks for listening. Though also, if Southpaw was actually listening, this would not be what it is. So much more. Well, that was fun. Hopefully you guys like something a little bit different. I enjoyed it. It's fun to record it. And if you guys like it, I might do it more in the future. However, it's going to be much harder to do it in the future. This is like a patch that I think A1 important on. Whereas say like if they release some DLC, I'm definitely going to be doing a day one game. Can't wait to play this. I'm very how all of these changes feel together. I would say a smaller patch in some ways than the last patch, but in some ways much bigger because the inscription and item changes are massive. But yeah, I think I'm done here. I gotta render this and get it on YouTube quickly. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all. I will see you again in the next one. Bye bye.